I'm in my super late 20s now, and here are 5 lessons that I wish I knew when I actually turned 20. Starting off with number 1, nobody is coming to save you whatsoever. You need to figure it out by yourself. Look, as much as you want for somebody else to just kind of be your knight in shining armor, literally nobody's coming to save you. You have your own problems. Other people are busy with their own problems. And yes, some people are going to come and lend you a helping hand, but at the end of the day, you have to figure it out by yourself, unfortunately. But it's also fortunate that you actually have to figure it out yourself as well, because you end up becoming the person who you always were meant to become as well. You learn a lot of good lessons in just being by yourself, figuring things out by yourself as well. And you become this strong person that you wouldn't have without going through that certain experience either. Number 2, this also relates back to number 1 as well, is that nobody actually thinks about you as much as you think that they actually do. You see, there's this thing called the spotlight effect in which you think that everybody is just focused on your mistakes. That's why you think that it's so embarrassing for you if you ever trip on the stairs or you trip in the grocery store, which really is not the case at all. Nobody really cares. They might laugh for about 2 or 3 seconds, but after that, everybody literally moves on with their day. And you know what's funny? They're not thinking about you whatsoever. They're not telling your friends about, oh, this idiot tripped on the stairs, or he tripped in the grocery store, or he tripped somewhere, or he made a fool of himself. No, you know what they're thinking about? They're literally just thinking about themselves, just like you're thinking about yourself right now. You only think that everybody is thinking about you just because you think about yourself all the time, when in reality, everybody is just so focused on themselves, their own pursuits, their own desires, their own embarrassing moments, and their own dreams and their own goals and their own problems, that they have absolutely no time to actually think about you or how much of an embarrassment you actually are. Nobody cares. And really, that is great news, because you can just focus on yourself as well. That means that you don't have to ever think about what anybody else thinks of you, because really, rarely are people ever thinking of you in the first place. Number 3, control your reactions to life and every single event that actually happens to you. I saw this quote on the internet one day, which was something along the lines of, life is about 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you actually react to it. And this is true throughout. Look, good things are going to happen to you, and also bad things are going to happen to you. You need to figure out how to make the most out of your life based off of those certain events that actually happen to you. You're going to graduate, you're going to get a job, you're going to have all these beautiful and wonderful and good things that happen in your life. And what is your reaction going to be? Obviously, your reaction to those events are going to be of excitement, of happiness, of joy, of contentness. But you also need to learn how to control your reactions when something bad happens, because a bad day is coming. Bad things are going to happen. You're going to lose your loved ones. You're going to maybe have to go through a breakup. You're going to maybe have to lose a job. Maybe a black swan event is going to happen, which is going to be the next thing that we talk about actually. But you need to make sure whenever those types of events actually happen, you're actually good to go. You see, you are going to fail at certain things in certain moments in life. It's not about you becoming that failure. It's that failure event has actually happened, and what are you going to do about it now? How are you going to react? What exactly is your reaction going to be to this failure event that has just happened? You need to get back up and you need to keep on moving it along. Because, like I said just a minute ago, life is only about 10% of what actually happens to you and about 90% of how you actually react to it. Number 4, Black Swan events. Look, Black Swan events are basically just cataclysmic events that happen maybe throughout the world or maybe even in your own personal life. You should never look at another person and say, oh, that could never be me. Because I promise you, life will humble you real quick, because it definitely can be you. And cataclysmic events on a global scale can also happen. Look, we obviously just lived through the COVID-19 pandemic. That was a black swan event. That was a once in a lifetime event. But also before that, I actually lived through the 2008 financial crisis, where the housing market was just completely down as well. These things are going to happen. You're not going to be able to plan for them. You're not going to be able to predict them either. And things are going to go wrong in those black swan events. You need to understand that these things are just a unfortunate part of your life, but you need to keep on moving as well. You need to accept it, internalize it, you need to live through it, and you need to understand that there are better days ahead of you, and that these black swan events can happen at any given time, and there's unfortunately nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing that you can actually do about it. So accept it, move on with your life, and control whatever it is that you can, even if it is a very little amount of control that you actually have over your life. And lastly, number 5, make sure that you make your health a priority. Look, you probably just turned 20, or maybe you're really early into your 20s right now. You probably feel invincible. And trust me, I know I've been there as well. Even if you're not a person that's super into shape, even if you're just an average Joe and you don't exercise that often, you probably still can eat a lot and just get away with it because your metabolism is so high. But trust me, this effect does not last forever. You need to understand and you need to make sure that your health is actually a priority in your life as well. So that means getting some exercise in, going to the gym, going for a jog, going for a walk every single day at least, making sure that you're actually watching a little bit of what it is that you actually eat. A rule that I like to follow is that 80% of the time I try my best to eat really good food, as in really good, as in healthy, nutritious food, and actually whole foods. And then 20% of the time, I kind of just like pig out. So eventually, everything does kind of balance out for me. And especially when you get older and your metabolism starts naturally slowing down, you kind of need to do these things. You kind of need to take these precautions. And I'm not going to lie, health is a crown that only the sick know that the healthy are wearing. The healthy people have absolutely no idea what they have as a gift in good health. You just don't, and you never will really appreciate good health until you actually get sick. And I hope that never happens, but to prevent you from getting sick, to making sure that you are actually in the best optimal shape as possible, make sure you're going to the gym, make sure you're getting your exercise in, and make sure you're just doing the right things on a day-to-day basis. Make sure you're making those micro adjustments or micro habit adjustments as well. Like for example, instead of just taking the elevator to the second or third floor, you're just taking the stairs. These small habits can become such a lifestyle difference in your entire life, because if you keep on being consistent with these things, then eventually they are going to make a huge impact in the long run. And that's what you should be chasing as well. All right, guys, those are the 5 lessons that I think every 20-year-old should know. At least I wish that I knew these 5 lessons as well. I might make a part 2 on this as well. If you're somebody older or if you're somebody already past your 20s, let me know in the comments down below what other life lessons we should actually try to teach the young youth nowadays. Anyways, guys, if you haven't subscribed to this channel already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I make self-improvement and life lesson videos like this all the time, and I would greatly appreciate your support. And make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me as well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.